I'm Margaret Hutchison, and Jesse's going to help me just show an example of an FM system. Now I'm going to pretend that I have a really big hearing loss. I'm wearing a hearing aid behind my ear, and I'm wearing this that will channel information from what Jesse says right into my hearing aid. And if he talks into this device, even if he is in the next room, I can hear him as if he's right at my ear. Or I could have him put this right next to the TV, and he'd be able to hear the TV right as if his ear was right up next to the TV. And this is a high quality device that will allow him to take this out into a restaurant, and he can change the way that it picks up around you, so that sometimes it's very narrow, sometimes it's wider, so that if he's in a restaurant and he puts this on the table and there are a lot of people talking around us, I'll be able to understand him. And sometimes I might not be able to do that. So that's really great to have that. I appreciate you doing this, Jesse.
No problem. So I just mash the button up top?
You just mash that button down and you talk into the microphone that's actually at the top of that, and I'll hear you right at my ear, just as if you were talking in my ear, even if I was standing outside.
All right. So can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you much better. It's like you're right up here next to my ear. It makes a lot easier.
Like whispering in your ear?
It's really cool. This one's an older example. And we tried this with a lady, and they were having some trouble. They wanted to hardwire it into their TV, and they weren't able to pull that off, so they're going to come back and get a Bluetooth device and get some Bluetooth.
So this would just sit on the table
and
pick up everybody?
Exactly, and you just change it. Yeah, you can change it so that it's all around you or just right in front of you by pressing a button. It's really pretty cool. I really like this. And it's a shame people don't know about these things, because this could really help them. In some parts of the country, audiologists tend to dispense these more. I think these get dispensed more often on the West Coast and on the East Coast. Don't ask me why it doesn't happen here in Texas. I'm not sure why that happens that way.
It's interesting.
Yeah, thank you. But it needs to be done more here, because it's almost as if people forget that Texas has people who might benefit from this. People go and ask for assistive systems in theaters more in the East and West Coast than they do here. The one woman who was trying to use this with her TV, she goes to a church here, and she said, oh, they don't have those there. And I said, well, you know, let's call the church. So we called the church. We found out who it was that took care of the systems, and they were going to find her the next time she came in for services and help her find the assistive systems, because she's in her 90s, and I guess she was a little shy about it. And she said, well, there are a whole bunch of us who sit together and we can't hear. And I said, this is great. You can help the other people by wearing this. They already have it. And until this time, it's been sitting around in a closet somewhere. That's just that's a shame when that happens. You know, they wanted to have it there so people could actually participate. Yeah. So, but that happens. So the more people can talk about it, the better. There's a woman named Juliet Sturkins who lives up in the upper Midwest, and she spent a lot of time putting loop systems in various places. Loop systems are another type of assistive device. They can be used in a lot of public places, but you have to have a hearing aid that has a telecoil on it in order to be able to use it. But in terms of being able to be portable, it's a lot more portable than even things like this. A lot of hearing aids don't have telecoils, though, so it's something to think about. If you really want a loop system, you really need to have a telecoil. I had one patient come in recently who was building a new house here in Austin, and he had a hearing aid pretty much like this. He's a software engineer, and he's really good with all kinds of technical stuff. And so I said, well, I have some information from Julia about loop systems, where to purchase them, what you need to think about. He also went online and looked for other information, and so now he has a loop system in his house, and he can just basically, you know, flip a switch, and he's right there with the TV, and it's great for him. He has a big hearing loss, so this is easy to do. It's easy to do, and it can be really sturdy. It can be all kinds of different things, but a lot of people just don't know about them.
Be good for business meetings and conferences too.
It'd be great for business meetings. You know, I have a lot of people who are in high tech come in, and if they don't understand in a business meeting, it can be their job.
Yes.
So you really want to be able to understand in business meetings. and this is another way to try to get it to happen, to make sure that it's happening, and you're not taking a chance. Room acoustics, it sounds like a big term, but room acoustics really affect everybody. Oh, I think Nancy's going to pick that up. Room acoustics affect everybody because air is just a crummy way to transmit sound. It's a really hard way for sound to get from one place to another. I like to tell people, do you remember when you were a kid, you used to put your head on a railroad track? And I did that with one person, and she said I never did anything that stupid. And so I said, well, some children do. Sound just doesn't go through air very easily. And so one of the things that happens even with hearing aids is that people still have trouble hearing. So if I'm an audiologist, I need to try to help you find a way to hear the very best that you can. You're never going to probably hear, some people with enough hearing loss are really always going to have trouble. But it's my job to try to find out the very best way I can help you. And assistive systems are another way of doing that.
Very good.
Thanks.